In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to replace the PCB board on a DC ceiling fan. So we have a faulty DC ceiling fan here. So we're just going to go ahead to undo the board holder. To reveal the label on this particular model. So this particular model is the DC solar ceiling fan. That's the model number right there, and the rated power is 36 watts with a DC voltage of 12 volts. So with a DC voltage source of 12 volts, this fan can be powered. You can see that we've gone ahead to remove the blades. It's got 3 blades for convenience. So now I'm just going to return the cover right here, which was taken off earlier to reveal the label on the fan. So I'm just going to go ahead to secure this in place as so. And now we have the board holder. So this is the cup which holds the board. Right, so this is the cable that comes out of the ceiling fan. So it connects to this 3-pin connector on the board as so. Right, so we can see 4 wires here and a sensor. So this is a sensor for the remote controller. So it's already connected to the board. And then we've got these 2. So now this fan has got 2 control options, either to be controlled by a regulator, so which comes with the fan, or with a remote controller or so. So this is for the fan. So you can either control the fan through these wires here, which goes directly to the 2 terminals of the regulator. So this that's a regulator that comes with the fan. So it's a dedicated DC ceiling fan regulator, or you could just control the fan using this remote controller here. So on this sensor allows the remote controller to communicate with the fan and to be controlled. So this board here is faulty and the fan doesn't work. This other 2 connects to the DC source. So the red is color coded. The red is for the positive and the black is for the negative. So I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate that this board is faulty by connecting these 2 terminals to the terminals from a DC 12 volt DC battery to demonstrate that this board is faulty. So, and then afterwards we're going to go ahead and replace this board with a replacement board that we've got. So we have the battery here. I'm just going to go ahead and use the multimeter to confirm the output of the 12 volt DC power source. So 12.87. So now what I'm going to do is to use these 2 crocodile clips and attach each to the terminals of the battery, making sure that the end doesn't touch. So now we'll connect the ends of the battery to these 2 crocodile clips here. So now the one end of the battery So the positive has been connected to the red terminal of the fan. Now we have the negative here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead to connect this and then power on the fan using the remote control. I know this board is not good, so the fan is not going to work, so we're not going to get any rotation here. So but this is just to demonstrate that the board doesn't work. So just going to go ahead. So when I connect this, you're going to hear a short beep sound. Do you hear that? So it's the fan is connected and I've got the remote here. Just going to go ahead, power on. Now there isn't any rotation, so the board is bad. So now we're going to go ahead to replace this board and see if that works. Now I'll just go ahead and remove the board. So if you look closely, the board should have been secured with 4 screws, but this is missing. So I'm just going to go ahead and undo these 3 remaining screws. Afterwards, I'll unclip the fan connector. So this reveals the board. So on the board here, I'm not going to be reusing this remote control sensor because in the replacement board it's got one, and also this connector here we're not going to use it, so because the replacement board also has got one. On this board you've got several SMD components, that's surface mount devices, so there isn't any obvious damage to any of these components. And here I have the replacement board. So in the replacement board we've got some connections that are similar. We've got the sensor here, the remote control sensor in the old board, and then on the new one we've got a fresh remote control sensor there. So you can see that size wise the new board is bigger, and then the new board has got only 4 holes to use to secure the board to the fan. So and this obviously do not align with the holes in the old connector or in the old board. So what this means is we're just going to find a way to improvise to secure this in the board holder in the fan. So right, so here we've got the 2 wires that go to the regulator as in the old board. In the old board they are color coded as white and yellow, but in the new board they are both white in color. Now we have the input source wires. These are color coded as red and black on the new, likewise on the old. And then here we've got a label that confirms that this red is the should go to the positive of the 12-volt DC supply. So yeah, just to be sure. An extra connector here is on the new board. We're not going to be using this because this suffices with the existing connection of where we're going to be putting the fan or installing the fan. The existing connection only has a provision for these 4 wires, so we're not going to be using this. I'm just going to go ahead and take this out. Right, so this is our board. Now we've got this slot right here is where the wire from the fan connects to. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit this in place. So and I will connect this. Right, so now before I secure the board in place, I'm just going to go ahead and run the same test I did on the faulty board. and run the same test on this new board. So basically I'm going to go inside and connect the negative and positive to the terminals of the 12 volts DC supply. That's the 12-volt battery. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the remote controller to power on the fan. So if this board works, or if this board is working, so we're going to see some rotation. The fan is going to rotate, and this is how we expect the normal operation of the fan to be after it's installed. So when we've got the blades and it rotates, then it's a fan, and it works. So now just going to go ahead and connect these two to the power source, 12-volt DC power source, and power on using the remote controller. So as previous, I have the connector, the crocodile cable from the battery, from the positive. Just going to go ahead to connect it to the red wire, and I've got the negative. Okay, so let me just bring this here just to ensure proper separation. I'm going to connect this to the plug. So now I've got the remote controller. I'm going to power on. Can you see that? So the replacement board works. So I'm just going to power it off. Yeah. So that's it. We've replaced the board in a faulty DC ceiling fan with a replacement board, and it works. So one thing to note is the remote controller here works with similar remote control sensors. So this is actually from the old the remote controller that came with the old board or with the fan itself, and we can see that it's working with the replacement board, although the replacement board also came with its own remote controller. So these are compatible. So if you've got a fan that has this ceiling fan that has this remote controller, and you get this board that came with a similar remote controller, you can use either to control either the old board or the new board. So thanks for watching.